So I know that 100% of you clicked on this video because you were curious about that 90% statistic, but I do have to be honest and transparent and say that I kind of made it up. But I do think it's correct. On my last video where I talked about QYLD and how to sell covered calls and how to do much better than QYLD, I had quite a few comments suggesting that the strategy was flawed. This is simply not correct. I'm going to say it again. 90%. 9 out of 10 dividend investors are not investing the right way based on their unique circumstances and their stage of the investing journey. So, are you doing it right? First off, I don't pretend to assume that I am anywhere near the best investor in this world, and there is nothing spectacular about me. Truly, I'm just your average Joe. Here's what I have noticed though. You have tons of investors out there YOLOing into heavy cash flow investments like QYLD, JEPI, or JEPQ, and then you have other investors who are retired and struggling to generate enough cash flow to live the retirement they've imagined. This is a problem. There are two things we need to get on the same page about before we can go any further. Number one, the stages of investing. There are really two main stages of investing for the average Joe. There is the accumulation stage and then the distribution stage. The accumulation stage of investing occurs starting from when we first start working all the way up until we officially retire. During this time frame, we are, or at least we should be, focused on growing our assets and wealth. Then we have the distribution stage, where we are now actually living on our assets. We must understand these two segments of investing and how they are completely different from each other. There's of course plenty of gray areas and exceptions to this, but most people fit into one of these two main stages. The second thing we have to understand is the concept of total returns compared to cash flow. Welcome to the part of the video that may cause some controversy, but I really don't think it should. Let's start off by defining total returns and the underlying components. Total return is the actual rate of return of an investment or a pool of investments in a portfolio over a period of time. There are two main components of total returns. Number one is capital appreciation, or the change in the share price of an investment, up or down, and any dividends or interest paid out to investors, aka cash flow from the investment. Capital appreciation or loss plus cash flow equals total return. Let me be clear. Total returns are certainly important to understand to ensure we can make an apples-to-apples comparison of different types of investments. But at the same time though, total returns are not the be-all end-all of investing, especially depending on your stage of the investing journey. To illustrate this, I want to highlight two different scenarios. Number one, a 25-year-old single guy or gal exclusively investing in QYLD. Now I know this is happening, so don't tell me it's not. You could replace QYLD with JEPI or JEPQ, but it's the idea of young investors clearly slotted in the accumulation stage of investing, prioritizing cash flow over total returns. Let me be clear, this is not a good idea and not recommended. Sure, QYLD has really great distribution yields, consistently north of 10% and currently over 12%. However, total returns are critically important in this stage of your investing journey. It's important to understand that despite this amazing cash flow, QYLD is consistently worth less and less over time. It's like the golden goose consistently laying golden eggs, but laying smaller and fewer eggs over time. A young investor would be much better served investing on a recurring basis into a low-cost index fund, such as SPY or VOO, which have much better total returns and will result in a much more positive outcome for the investor in the future. The focus is on securing your financial future and creating options for yourself when you are ready to retire. Total returns are so much more important than cash flow in this stage of the investing journey, and specifically this scenario. Scenario number two, a 70-year-old man or woman no longer working and needing cash flow on a monthly basis to cover their monthly expenses. Any sane individual knows that this scenario is as different as night and day. When you have saved up a nest egg of investments and are ready to stop working, or maybe you have to stop working due to an injury or illness, total returns are no longer as important as they used to be. The top priority is cash flow, specifically creating cash flow for the rest of your life to ensure you do not have to go back to work and do not run out of money. Cash flow is now a higher priority than total returns. If the number one goal is to make it to the finish line, aka dying, without having to go back to work and not reliant on others, and your nest egg drops from, let's say, $500,000 at age 70 to $375,000 at age 90, who cares? You certainly don't, because your portfolio has generated income for you for the past 20 years. You've lived comfortably. You have done some traveling around the world. Maybe you are now the local community shuffleboard champion. Congratulations. But most importantly, retirement was a success. Let's bring this back to my scenario in my previous video where I proposed that instead of just buying QYLD or JEPI or JEPQ or any other type of high-yielding covered call type ETF, you could do much better by using index ETFs and writing covered calls to generate cash flow. So many comments were concerned about losing money or writing covered calls below your cost basis and getting assigned for a loss. To you, I would say, who cares? If you need cash flow now because you're retired and the system involves writing at the money or close to at the money covered calls to generate income far beyond what you could generate by selling shares or owning QYLD, yes, you will at times get assigned below your cost basis, but total returns are secondary in this environment to cash flow. That doesn't mean you are foolish with your strategy and use speculative high yield strategies with significant risk. However, there are absolutely real world income strategies that you can implement as a DIY investor that can generate sustainable levels of cash flow over time. So as an average Joe investor, you should evaluate for yourself. What stage of investing are you currently in? Do your investments align with that reality? Furthermore, make sure you understand the importance of total returns in your stage of the investment journey, but do not let total returns stop you from investing in income strategies when the time is right. By the way, if you want to learn more about real-world income strategies as a do-it-yourself average Joe investor, make sure to check out the Patreon community and the Discord chat, full of hundreds of different average Joe investors who are utilizing a variety of different income strategies in their own personal life. If you want to learn more, check out the link down in the description below. Hopefully you found some value in this video. Make sure to leave your 2 cents down in the comments below. It's my goal to respond to all comments left on the day I post a new video. That's all I got for you guys in this video. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching.